On this segment of Resilience Toolbox, we're speaking with Suhrud Rajguru, Ph.D., Chief Scientific Officer and co-founder of RestorEar Devices and Professor at the University of Miami. We're spotlighting ReBound by RestorEar, the first ever FDA-registered and research-backed hearing health device engineered to minimize hearing damage after noise exposure. Suhrud, welcome to Resilience Toolbox.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
How did you get involved with first responders to begin with?
So the University of Miami has been working for a number of years through the Firefighter Cancer Initiative with fire services all across the state of Florida, but specifically the number of fire departments that we have in South Florida. And that was our connection to working with fire departments, fire service members, and thinking about how do we take the partnership and the relationship that the University of Miami has built with the fire services to address the challenge specifically with hearing loss and balance dysfunction that occurs in firefighters because of the noise exposure that they get from their environment and the duties that they perform.
Dr. Rajguru, why should first responders be concerned about hearing health?
That's a great question, David. All of us should be concerned about hearing health, primarily because hearing loss has been associated with also neurocognitive decline, Alzheimer's, dementia, and in first responders, especially given the nature of the service that they have, the exposures to loud noises in their environment from alarms, from engines, from the sirens or the water pumps, chainsaws, etc., is quite extreme, and that can create damage to the hearing organs in our inner ear very early on. Oftentimes, those damages go undiagnosed and undetected, and they can have long-term hearing consequences, long-term health consequences. And given the critical nature of the job that the firefighters and the first responders perform, it is important that we not only protect their hearing health early on, but also help them make sure that they have a healthy long-term outcomes.
Let's talk about RestorEar. Can you tell us a little bit about it? What does it do, and where does it come in terms of mitigation of hearing loss?
One of the challenges with hearing loss is we always talk about protection versus prevention. Of course, we know that wearing plugs in our ears when we are exposed to loud sounds, loud noises is important to reduce the damages. But because of the situational awareness and the needs of first responders, oftentimes that may not be feasible. And so at RestorEar, we started thinking about prevention and how do we prevent acute damages that are occurring right now as we get exposed to our service. And how does that lead to prevention of long-term health consequences? So we actually built, based on decades of research and a very well-known therapy of mild therapeutic hypothermia or cooling to reduce the inflammation and the damages that are associated with loud noise exposures. And that's where RestorEar comes in. RestorEar has created devices working and thinking collaboratively about first responders, as well as the general community, to think about how can we use this therapy that we all know. Whenever we have an injury, the first thing we do is apply ice to reduce inflammation and provide a little bit of cooling. And so how do we do that for our hearing? How do we provide that cooling for the hearing? And that's what RestorEar has developed.
Dr. Rajguru, what should first responders who are concerned about their hearing do to protect themselves?
Thank you, David, for that question. The first responders, and of course, all of us, one of the first things we should do is protect. When available, there are hearing plugs or over-the-ear devices that we can wear to reduce and mitigate the loud noises from affecting our inner ears and causing that initial damage itself or the trauma. But we know that there are challenges with that, especially in the first responder and their services. Situational awareness is key. And so in that case, the moment after you have had noise exposure, RestorEar ReBound is designed to deliver that mild hypothermia therapy or that cooling to reduce the inflammation and hence prevent acute damage, which then helps with long-term damage and long-term consequences as well.
Anyone who wants to find out more about RestorEar, where can they get more information?
So they can definitely come to our website, RestorEar.com, but any of them can reach out directly to me, whether through my University of Miami email address or from my RestorEar email address. We also have very active social media on Instagram as well as on LinkedIn, and we invite you to follow us. We invite you to come and learn about the work that we're doing, working with the fire services in South Florida, and connect with us. We want to be the ones who help protect hearing and balance health of fire service members and the first responders. And we're here to help and learn from you and work with you.
Dr. Rajguru, thank you for being here with us today on Resilience Toolbox. We wish you continued success with all your work.
Thank you very much, David.